So this time we're looking at the Golden Age Hourman, or Rex Tyler. Hourman is probably one of my favorite JSA. Well, how? I pretty much like all the JSA. I think he's got a great power, and I like how they've treated his power as well. Really makes him just a little bit more accessible than some of the other heroes. It's a pretty standard sculpt. There's not much to him other than the paint job. He does have a nice belt and a nice design on that belt. I like the hourglass here that they gave him. It's on an actual string here, not plastic. The cape here is a little bit too stiff for me, but still flexible enough, but just a little bit too stiff. And it does somewhat limit his head articulation here. Now the paint job is pretty good, but I can't really tell if it's showing up here on camera, but there's like 3 different shades of yellow going on here between all his various parts. You have his head is one color, his cape is another, and the paint on the thighs doesn't match with the paint on his knees. That is kind of takes away from the figure. Other than that, he's pretty good. Looking at the back of his packaging here, you see his biography and statistics. Interesting to note that it looks as though they had planned to do a variant of this guy, of this figure, with his son, the current Hourman, because if you notice here, they have Adventures Comics number 48 in 1940, which is Rex Tyler's first appearance, and they have Infinity Inc. number 20, which is Rick Tyler's first appearance. For accessories, he comes with the head and groin section of the Collect and Connect figure, Ultra Humanite, as well as a button featuring not only him, but several members of the JSA there. Getting to articulation here. Like I said, his head is a little bit hindered by the cape, but you still get back and forth motion just a little bit. You do get left and right on the head there. The cape here does limit his articulation with the hands just a little bit, but it's soft enough that it gets out of the way. Out, rotates at the biceps, bends at the elbows, rotates at the wrists. He's got a very good ab articulation. His waist articulation, he does not have, or is too stiff to move. And so I don't want to force him. So I'm not going to try that hard. He's got the standard DC Universe Classics leg articulation, forward and back, out, rotates at the thighs, bends at the knees, and bends at the ankles. Rex Tyler was a scientist who created the vitamin Miraclo, which would give a man increased strength, speed, and endurance for 1 hour. He used this vitamin to become a mystery man, what they termed superheroes back then in the DC universe, and he joined with other mystery men to found the JSA, Justice Society of America. And later on, he became a member of the Freedom Fighters and of the All-Star Squadron. However, he struggled with addiction to Miraclo, what became a very thinly veiled comment on steroids. Not only was he addicted to Miraclo, the drug, but he was also addicted to the rush that he got from crime fighting. So that's a nice little twist to the superhero character. He eventually managed to develop a form of the drug that was not addictive, still use the powers, but not have any of the side effects of the addiction. He stayed a member of the JSA for a long time, retiring in 1951 when he was forced out by the McCarthyism and the Red Scare, because the government wanted to learn the identities of all the JSAers, and they refused, and so they retired. But that didn't take, and eventually they came back out of retirement. He was killed in the events of 0 Hour by the villain Extant. However, the android version of Hourman that first appeared in, I believe, the Grant Morrison JLA, took his place and returned him to what would be the future to him, but the current Hourman, Rick Tyler's present day. And so he was able to basically come back to life. Now lives in semi-retirement, making up for all the lost time with both his wife and his son, Rick, who carries on the name Hourman in the JSA. Kind of nice that they gave the Tyler family a happy ending. Well, it's not really an ending, but they gave him basically a second chance to to be there for his son and his wife. Again, as a JSA fan, this guy was a real must-have. But if you're just a casual DC fan, I'm not sure that this would be your particular cup of tea. I do have one problem with the figure. Because of the way he was packaged, and this will be a common theme, reoccurring theme among the figures in this wave, this leg here was pretty much bent out of shape. See how it bends inward? And that's a real shame. So many of these figures have been bent out of shape because the way they pose them in the packaging. And I don't think they need to do that. I think these guys would sell on their own without having the dynamic poses in them, which always seems to lead to bent limbs. I'd rather just have the figure in there plain, here I am, like this, get me, rather than just be like all twisted and like, yeah, I'm a hero, buy me, I'm a hero, I'm extreme, and have them bent all out of shape. Yeah, so But that's just me. So that'll be it for Hourman, the Rex Tyler Golden Age version. Stay tuned for my next review, which will be on Zatanna. Until then, see ya. Buy me! I'm a hero! I'm extreme!